A call for calm, the phone call that could change everything. President Trump and Vladimir Putin set to discuss a ceasefire deal tomorrow.
I'll be speaking to President Putin on Tuesday, and a lot of work's been done over the weekend. We want to see if we can bring that war to an end. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but I think we have a very good chance.
This call will come after U.S. and Ukrainian officials negotiated a potential 30-day ceasefire. We say potential because the Kremlin has yet to agree. Putin says he's interested, but only with significant conditions requested by Russia. Chief International Correspondent James Longman joins us now out of Kyiv. So, James, this call between Trump and Putin, what do you think? Could it change everything?
Well, Kira, we'll have to see. I mean, it's worth saying. I mean, you picked up on it there, on the conditions. Vladimir Putin says he's interested in the idea of peace, but with conditions. And that is precisely what Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, said the United States did not want. He wanted a conditionless acceptance of this ceasefire, which is exactly what the Ukrainians did. So in this call tomorrow, Donald Trump has already worried people here in Ukraine because he has said, we'll be talking about land, we'll be talking about power plants. We are already talking about that, dividing up certain assets. Why has that got people worried here? Well, that's the substance of peace talks. That's not a ceasefire. What the Ukrainians want from the call tomorrow is for Donald Trump to ask Vladimir Putin to agree to the ceasefire and for Vladimir Putin to say yes, and for the call to end there. And then for negotiations about land, about territory, around competing claims to land here in Ukraine. Of course, we know this all started in 2022 when Vladimir Putin invaded to take large portions of Ukraine's land. In fact, obviously back in 2014 when he annexed Crimea, it started back then. So that, I think, is what is concerning the Ukrainians. Basically, Vladimir Putin once again cutting the Ukrainians out, going directly to Donald Trump. Russia being taken seriously once more on the international stage. In many ways, Russia has kind of already won because they got the call. And if you remember, after that blowout at the Oval Office between President Trump and J.D. Vance and President Zelensky, Donald Trump seemed to be repeating a lot of the Russian talking points about Zelensky. The fact that he wasn't elected, he was a dictator, the fact that perhaps even that Ukraine started this war, they shouldn't have started it. So I think the concern here in Ukraine is that every time Donald Trump speaks to Vladimir Putin or the Russians more generally, he just absorbs their view of this war, and then they have to go back to him and try and undo what he has said. So yes, this call is a big step, but what it means for peace, that remains to be seen. Kira.
Well, what is it going to take for Putin to agree to any kind of ceasefire and, of course, leading to that peace, James?
He has said repeatedly he doesn't believe in ceasefires. What he wants is to keep fighting until there is a larger deal, where what he said the other day on that press conference alongside Belarusian President Lukashenko was he believes that the original causes of this war need to be dealt with. What does he mean by that? Well, we can only guess, but presumably it's all around NATO. Now, relitigating NATO or somehow dealing with Russia's concerns about NATO is going to take a lot longer than 30 days. And actually, that should not be the condition for the ceasefire. Once again, the United States said there shouldn't be a condition. So we're not really clear what it is precisely that Vladimir Putin wants right now. What he has said previously is that he wants to keep the more than 20% of Ukraine that he currently occupies, plus 2 other regions that are not even under his control at the moment. And so, look, we don't know what it's going to take in material terms, but most people here think he's just playing for time. Kira?
All right, James Longman, more to come. Thank you.